What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. This is, of course, the weekly show where we talk about everything and anything Corvette related. This is the off week, so Brandon and David are off saving lives, even though Brandon looks like he is in the comment section here, so he must be doing both. Today we have Amber in the room here on the Corvette Weekly, so she's going to be here helping us go over some information about the ZR1. We're going to talk about the giveaway, which ends tonight. We're going to talk about a bunch of ZR1 stuff, some allocation things for the C8 Corvette in general, not just Z06, not just Stingray, pretty much any C8 this applies to. But before we get too much into it, guys, I want to say thank you again for tuning in as usual. I see a lot of the same names popping in here, and that's a great thing. That means we're building a community, which is exactly what this was meant to do from the very beginning. So I appreciate you guys always tuning in, especially the members here. Professor Corvette, I see right off the bat, is a member. Seawolf Z06 is a member. Let's see who else we got here. That looks like that's all that's in here right now. But we have 9 members currently. And I think I told you guys, when we hit 12, I'm going to release a behind-the-scenes video that only the members of the channel are going to be able to actually see. So if you would like to kind of help support the channel as well as see some behind-the-scenes stuff, you should check it out. Now, I'm actually going to put a link in the chat right now, and this is for the membership. So if you guys are interested in joining the membership of the channel, click on that link. Actually, that's not the right link. Sorry. Let me delete that. Maybe. No. Okay. Anyway, I'll post a link in the chat here in a second for you guys if you want to join the memberships of the channel. But like I said, there are going to be benefits outside of just the emojis. But the more people that join, the more custom emojis we get as well, which makes the chat here a little bit more entertaining. But yeah. Yeah. Paul Monaco says ZR1 is pretty fast. Free case of Mountain Dew for the next 5 new members. Nah.
No.
Nah, it cost a lot to ship that. Hit the likes, though. Brandon's got it right, guys. If we could, we're trying to hit 100 thumbs ups by 8 o'clock. We got a lot of news to talk about here, so we're going to get into it in a second, but I just got to get through some of the formalities at first here. Yeah, that's for me. Seawolf says it's definitely worth joining. Look at... He is using the custom Mountain Dew emojis for sure. I use the real life Mountain Dew emoji. Of course, we can't have a live video without this going on. E-Ray, C8 Nate is also a member. Check out that emoji. Look at that little red ZR1. Everybody knows the ZR1's the hotness right now. But G Smith says needs to be a member, needs some greasy stuff to watch. There you go. Let me see if I can get the member link really quick. I had it a second ago, and then I swapped it out for something else. So bear with me one second. I'm going to post it actually in the chat here so you guys can easily just click on it. Since sometimes it seems like the link doesn't show up for everybody for some reason. So let's see, where's it at here? Right there. All right, so here's the link. If you guys are interested in becoming a member, if you want to help support the channel, see these behind-the-scenes videos, and get some custom emojis, here is the link. I just posted it in the chat now. All you got to do is click on it. It's going to take you to the page where you can choose what membership level you want, and from there, you're a member. Then you can start posting some crazy emojis. 2020 Matrix 8's in the house. Paul LaMonaco, G. Smith, Brand's Garage. Like I said, saving lives and watching the Corvette Weekly show. Gotta love it. C8 Nate. Wheeler O'Hara. What's up, man? Bill Thompson. Professor Corvette, of course. We can't forget him. Chopper Larry. Robert Brunn. Luke. Kevin Horan. What's up, Kevin? Professor Corvette says, Amber, what about getting an Escalade IQ? Configurator went live for that. That's more vehicle than she needs as far as size is concerned, so... Seawolf06 says, sorry, got to ask, Justin. So straight up Mountain Dew, nothing mixed in? Not today. The only thing I found that I really liked the taste of mixed with Mountain Dew was the Swedish Fish vodka, which they actually stopped making for some reason. But whenever those two things were mixed, it literally tasted like candy. It was dangerous. Wheeler O'Hara, how much is the membership? Starts out at $4.99. You can go up to, I think it's $24.99 if you want to go to the highest level, but I didn't want to make it crazy expensive because I do want people to be able to join it without breaking the bank. Look at that, Brandon's Garage. Of course it's Brandon's Garage. Thanks, man. I appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. Brandon's Garage is now a loyal HPO fan, and he will now be able to use the Mountain Dew emojis. Wheeler O'Hara says, hey, Justin, thanks for the shout out. Just found out my 948 will be featured on you. Nice. Nice. I could feature that thing here too. The last time we talked about it, it's been a while. I don't even think you were done with it. I'm assuming it's all finished at this point. Yeah, look at those emojis. Brand's Garage is flexing on you guys now.
Who's father and son synergy?
Father and son, welcome to the live. We met them a couple times at the at Corvettes at Carlisle. Okay. Steve Robertson comes on as a loyal HPO fan. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the support here. That's fantastic that you guys would support the channel that heavily. I really do appreciate it. Guys, if you could too, please smash the thumbs up button. We are going to talk about some ZR1 information here really soon, and it's some pretty cool stuff.
Professor Corvette. Platinum membership includes one free painted intake.
It sure does, Professor Corvette. The Platinum membership is also $3,000. Just so happens to be. Cool dad stuff. What's up, everybody? How you doing? All right, so what we're going to do, guys, I got to start off real quick just by mentioning this live tonight is going to be sponsored by Extreme Online Store. We are still doing the giveaway. That product will be given away tonight at the end of this show. So if you want to win this, you got to get entered today. So every $10 donated is an entry, whether you do it through Super Chat or the pin link in the chat section, which is Venmo. Now, you may ask yourself, Justin, what is the giveaway? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it is actually about to be right here. So let's see. I gotta activate this and then that and something. Where are we at with this?
2020 Matrix 8 is now a loyal HPO fan.
All right, so this is the giveaway for tonight, guys. If you were interested in carbon fiber door sills. Now, what this means for you is, of course, they replace the stainless steel or brushed aluminum looking ones that are on there. They're not actually really metal. But these ones are real carbon fiber. So if you'd like to win carbon fiber door sills, which are valued at around $200, you can do so by donating $10 through Super Chat or the Venmo link pinned at the top of the chat. You can get entered. Every $10 is an entry. $50 or more is double entry. So if you donate $50, you're actually going to get entered 10 times to win. As of right now, there's only 2 entries. So if you guys want a good chance to win these things, now's your chance. These are real carbon fiber, by the way. They are not a laminate. They're not a cover. These are real carbon fiber. So that is the giveaway for tonight.
And then 3 people to welcome to the loyal HPO fan is 2020 Matrix 8, Stephen Risha, and Gordon Cruz. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. That's really awesome. I really appreciate it. Jeremy, always supporting the channel, it seems. Stephen Risha, that's awesome. Gordon Cruz. Fantastic stuff, guys. Thank you so much. Bunch of loyal HPO fans in here. I think that is our 12 subscribers now, so I'm going to have to put this this behind the scenes video up. You guys are going to think it's fun. It's only like 2 minutes long or something, because I haven't really filmed a lot of behind the scenes stuff, but now with this membership thing, I thought that was perfect for that. So I'm going to have more going as well. Everyone should be a member. It literally took me 15 seconds to join. I agree. And honestly, like I said, guys, it's $4.99. It's one of those things. I didn't want to price it super high because you guys don't have to be a member by any means. I appreciate all the support regardless if you're a member or not. But if you decide you want to give a little bit more and get a couple little cool things in return, that's the way to do it.
Barry said he wants to take us to Taco Bell for lunch.
Barry says, hi, Justin and Amber. Long time no talk. I know your birthday is coming up in a bit, but won't be able to take you to Taco Bell for lunch. Yeah.
Dang it.
He took me, was it last year? Yeah, it must have been last year.
Is it Florida? Is he
No,
from Florida?
no. He drove all the way from St. Louis area.
Oh, wow.
Who was the first member? Is there a Members Hall of Fame yet? I can actually look that up. I want to say it might have actually been Stephen Rapp. I'll have to check it out, though. He was one of the first ones. Because your icon changes. If you look at the chat right now, Brand's Garage, his icon is the one if you're brand new. Professor Corvette's is the icon if you've been here for at least a member for at least a month. After 2 months, you get a new icon. 3 months, a new icon. So this is another kind of fun thing to keep up with. Mike says, shouldn't the channel be called Corvette Obsessed? Yes and no. I obviously like my Corvettes, but at the same time, I'm a car guy, not necessarily just a Corvette guy. Professor Corvette, that sounds like a fantastic idea. We will definitely be looking into that. I know Brandon and David and I have kind of kicked around the idea of doing something like that together. That might just be the next thing. Yep, NCM works too. We should look into that. We'll talk about that off camera, I guess. Let's see. Does your YouTube Premium still work? It does, Steven. It does. I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate that. There's no way that I could live without it at this point. So I really appreciate that. So, guys, real quick, again, if you're interested in winning on the giveaway end of things, every $10 donated, and I'll be watching my phone here for any donations coming in on Venmo or on the Super Chat here. If you want to win a set of carbon fiber door sills, $10 donation will get you an entry. $50 plus gets you double entries. There's only 2 entries as of right now, guys. So if you want to win, your odds are pretty good right now. Now, other than that, if you also want to take your shot at winning a ZR1, you can do that as well. So the giveaway for the ZR1, this is a yellow competition, brand new competition yellow, plus $30,000, and it is a ZTK package car. You get an extra 4 tickets just for buying the entry level here, just because of the Horsepower Obsessed YouTube channel. Check out the link in the description down below. You do get extra chances if you use that link versus just finding this on the actual National Sprint Car Hall of Fame website. Now, if yellow's not your thing, there is also another giveaway down there for a Torch Red one. This Torch Red one is the same kind of thing. Torch Red plus 25 grand. But this one, you get 50% more entries. So instead of the 4 of the last one, you'll get 9 additional entries on the entry level entry here. So if you decide to donate to $25, you'll get actually 9 more entries. Both links are in the description down below, guys. Make sure you get entered to do this. It'd be really cool to win this car before it's even available yet.
I like Steve Robertson's idea, a members only dinner at Carlisle. Doesn't necessarily maybe have to be at Carlisle, but a members only dinner is kind of cool.
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
We should definitely do that.
Welcome, Robert Brunn.
Robert Brunn is now a loyal HPO fan. Looks like Kevin donated $20, so he will get entered in twice to win. Thank you, Kevin. So he might be winning himself some carbon fiber door sills. Again, guys, check out the links in the description down below if you want to win a Corvette ZR1 in either Competition Yellow or Torch Red. Both options are down there. The memberships link has been posted in here, and I'll post it a little later tonight as well. If you guys want to join the memberships of the YouTube channel here, it helps me out, as well as gives you a couple cool things in return, including a behind-the-scenes kind of video that I'm going to post up later, probably tomorrow at this point, since we hit the 12 that I wanted to hit. Other than that, guys, we're going to talk about a little bit of news here in a second. Brand says hit those likes, please, if you could. Smash the thumbs up. I can kind of give you a better idea what they look like here if you're not sure. Get those thumbs going up. Looks like we have 73 right now, but we have over 100 people watching, guys, so we should easily have 100 thumbs ups going if you could, please. 2020 Matrix 8 says he could really use that ZR1. He's already entered in both. Thanks, Jeremy. That's awesome. Bill says, a group for Ron Fellows sounds like a great idea, especially for us here in the North. December/January sounds like a great time. I think Ron Fellows is going to be a little bit more difficult to get into I think NCM would be a little bit easier and probably better located for a lot of us because it's a lot closer than Ronfello's, but yeah.
What's up, Matt Hurley?
That's a good idea too. Professor Corvette, members only dinner at Stingray Cafe. Let's do that. That would be fantastic.
At Stingray Cafe?
Yeah, at the National Corvette Museum. Matt Hurley, what's up, man? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. David is probably sleeping. Yeah. All right, guys, what do we got? We got 150 people watching, 84 thumbs ups. Let's rock those thumbs ups, guys. Let's get them to 100 by 8 o'clock or more. That would be pretty cool, too. So if you guys haven't been living under a rock lately, you probably already have seen that the new Corvette ZR1 did, in fact, do 233 miles per hour. They are just as impressed by this as you may be. So believe it or not, Chevy did not think that this car was going to be capable of hitting 233 miles an hour. I'm going to show you an article about that in a second where they flat out said this was a surprise to them as well. Now, just like this says over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum, not sure many of us saw this number coming. There was, I think it was Kevin Horan, actually. It was Kevin Horan who guessed 233 miles an hour. He got it right on the nose, basically. 233 miles an hour on a car like this. I mean, it is incredible. Now, I know I've seen a lot of people out there posting that the C8 Corvette ZR1 is not the fastest Corvette, that apparently, I think it was a C4 Callaway went faster. But this is, the big thing about this is that this is a production car. This is something that is not sent off to a special company afterwards to have things added on. This is a car you can buy as is from GM, and it will hit 233 miles an hour. So this is GM's fastest production car to date. Now, 233 miles an hour is nothing to scoff at. I know, I think me and Jeremy were both going back and forth at one point, 2020 Matrix 8, and I had said 232. He was saying 232 because it was kind of a nice round number. A lot of us were pretty close, but Kevin Horan hit it right on the head, and it's kind of funny, 233. But I knew whenever we were doing that Monday Night Live, I knew somebody was going to guess it, and sure enough, they did. So really, really awesome, guys. We got a ridiculously awesome car here, but as we go through the information here, it's actually, like NBA Live has said, it's actually 233.5. So I guess I don't want to rob them of that half mile per hour, but the interesting thing here is you can actually see on the speedometer, this was achieved in 6th gear. So usually the 7th and 8th gear, we already know on the C8 in general, the 7th and 8th gear is more of like a cruising gear that kind of maintains your gas mileage and stuff like that. So you don't actually have to get out of 6th gear to hit 233 miles an hour. That's just incredible. Correct. So Red C8 says the Callaway Sledgehammer Corvette had a top speed of, I think I've seen a bunch of people running it off at just 255, but it is not a car you could just go to GM and buy directly from GM as a production car. It is something that is added on after the fact. So that's why this is not really added into the fastest Corvette ever created, which is the C8 Zora1 at this point. Professor Corvette says it takes 4.57 horsepower per mile per hour. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, G. Smith, that's exactly what I was thinking. He says, no way would I do 2 hundo in a C4. I did 150 in my C4 ZR1, and that was enough. I was thinking the same thing because the big thing that's missing from the C4, especially the Sledgehammer, is aero. Like, you're doing 255 miles an hour in a car that really doesn't have anything to keep you planted. Now, that's the big thing with the C8 ZR1 is you're getting a lot more aero. Even on the car that they did the 233 mile an hour run in, which was not the ZTK car, it still has enough aero to keep that car planted, obviously. Now, I've been in a C8 Corvette Stingray at, what was it, 160 miles an hour? And even that car started to feel a little uneasy just because there was no 5VM kit or anything. There was nothing really providing a lot of downforce. So I can only imagine what that C4 would feel like.
Scary.
It would have to be scary. Darren Burnett says, hey guys, missed out last week, but back now. So guys, for those of you just tuning in, I want to real quick mention again the giveaway for today, which is real carbon fiber door sills. These retail for a little over $200. They can be yours tonight for a donation of $10 will be one entry. $50 plus will be double entries. If you are interested in grabbing a set of these for that entry, this giveaway ends tonight. So if you're wanting to get in on this, you're going to want to do it sooner than later. Now, every entry of $10 will count, whether it's Super Chat or Venmo, which is pinned at the top of the chat. So be sure to check those out, guys. These are going to look really good right next to your side skirts, especially if you have carbon fiber side skirts. But yeah, so next we're going to go ahead and... Mean Peterson says, I did 175 on my C8 Zora1. That's impressive.
Ooh. Loud woman.
I did more than 153 in my Z06, and honestly, that car feels a lot more planted than the C8 Stingray did to me. The Stingray started to get really squirrely around 150, and the non-5VM car, I mean. I was surprised about that too. NBA Live says that he was surprised they did the run with the aluminum wheels and not the carbon fiber wheels. I thought the same thing. They have the carbon fiber wheels. Why wouldn't they have used those? I mean, that would have to improve the high-speed run to some degree, unless they were worried about the carbon fiber not being able to handle that top speed, which is possible as well.
I think we have a Venmo donation.
We do. So Matt Hurley donates $50, so he will get 10 entries to win the carbon fiber door sills. Now, Matt Hurley actually has a really nice looking white E-Ray now, so those will go really nicely on your car if you do end up winning. I know, Matt Hurley, I know you've won a couple things here on the channel before, so great to see you back on here. I don't think you've been on here since we talked about this, but the giveaways are going to be making their way back here. We have a lot of really cool information coming up here starting in November. We're going to start bringing on a different sponsor every month that is going to offer giveaways and more details about the products that they offer. So be on the lookout for that, guys. You are definitely going to like what's coming. Professor Corvette says, would carbon fiber wheels improve top speed? Aren't they mostly for handling? I would see that they would probably improve top speed as well, because at the end of the day, they reduce weight on the car, unsprung weight specifically. So I can't imagine that it would hurt the top speed. So that's my big surprise that they wouldn't have put those on there. Chili Pepper says, would a professional driver get a few more miles out of the ZR1? That's another thing. This was done by Mark Royce. You remember that guy? The C7 ZR1? He crashed it at I think it was an Indy race. He crashed the C7 ZR1, and he's the guy behind the wheel going 233 miles an hour on a C8 ZR1. I don't know, man. It's possible that a professional could have done better. Yeah, Brandon's Garage says that he agrees the CF wheels might help due to efficiency. Yeah, I mean, we're not talking 15 miles an hour faster. I would say probably, honestly, 1 to 3 miles an hour at most. Yeah, it'd be like dropping 240 pounds also if you didn't have a passenger. Yeah, Paul, actually, that's where I did my top speed run in the C8 Stingray, was at the Salt Flats. Yeah. Skinny professional driver with no passenger equals 3 miles per hour. Now add on the carbon fiber wheels. Maybe it's an extra 5. Maybe it hits almost 240. Or, yeah, Ron, you could be right. Maybe they wanted the extra heft of those wheels to stay more planted on the ground, because at 233 miles an hour, I have to imagine that car starts to want to come up in the front end. IndyCar mishap was a special circumstance. Can't blame Rose too much for that. Yes and no. I do agree that it's not necessarily 100% his fault, but at the same time, a professional driver could have avoided that. Yeah. Matt Hurley says he loves the E-Ray. It's such a beast. Actually selling it now. Oh, man, Matt. He's selling it now, and he has a new one on order. I'm guessing you're doing that because the one you got wasn't your specific spec, right?
Matt, I think you should get another SF90. That is a really nice car.
Glass City Car Nerd says, you have to think they practiced this before the cameras rolled, though. Yeah, I'm sure they did. Glass City Car Nerd, Jamie, you got to get in on the entry, man, or on the giveaway. Looks like we got Brandon in for $20, so he gets 2 entries.
Is it Brandon's garage?
It is.
Okay.
That'll look good on your car, Brandon. Actually, I gotta check now to make sure that that's Brandon's garage, because Brandon is not really the kind of guy that likes to stick on stuff. It is not.
It is not Brandon.
It is not. So it's Brandon Jensen. I had that. See Brandon's garage. This is why you check these kind of things. So who is Brandon Jensen? I didn't see the name in there. The username for Brandon Jensen. I need you to tell me who that is in the chat so I know who to put in for the giveaway here. If your name is Brandon Jensen, just let me know in the chat. Say that's me.
Come on, Matt. Just that SF90, that was really
yeah.
nice.
The economy really does say otherwise, and a lot of people. I posted a picture on my community tab of the new ZR1 and said, "Who's getting this?" And a lot of people were saying the community or the economy says no.
Isn't it sad?
This is the other question. Robert says, "Can we get insurance on the ZR1?" A lot of this stuff is going to be coming to light here pretty soon, guys. Some of this stuff is going to get difficult. I mean, outside of the price of the car being high in an economy that's not so great, plus some insurance companies not even insuring the car. I mean, things are going to get interesting here. So let's see, where are we at? We got 170 people watching. We got 107 thumbs up. So we got about 70 more people watching than we have thumbs up. So guys, please, we hit our goal of 100 by 8, but let's just keep smashing those thumbs ups. Just like NBA Live says, everyone hit the thumbs up. Keith says it's just a hunch, but I'm thinking the ZR1 can do better than 233 with optimal gearing. I think so too. There we go. Jamie, Car City, or Glass City Car Nerd, donates $50. So he gets 10 entries to win. Thanks, Jamie. You've already won a couple things from us. Why not this too, right? There it is. Arnie's place is Brandon Jensen. So send it to me too. Just put Arnie's place for.
I know. Glass City Car Nerd. What was he?
50.
50. Okay.
And then Arnie's place for Brandon Jensen. Let's see. Wheeler O'Hara, he says, need the markets to hold for 5 more months of dividends, then he can finally hit the button on his loaded 1LZ Z06. You're going to love that car, man. I'm telling you. Every time I drive my Z06, I am so freaking happy with it. I honestly, every time I drive it, the thought goes through my head of, how could this get better? How is it possible that the ZR1 is actually going to be better than this? Because the car is that good.
You even take it to your orthodontist appointment today, huh?
Exactly. Raman says, I'm sure the insurance for the C8 Zora 1 will be close to $1,000 a month. Depending on your driving record, it absolutely could be every dollar of that. So we'll see. Did Brandon or Matt? Matt Hurley said he ordered a Riptide Blue 3LZ hardtop convertible, black interior, comp seats, blue stitching, blue seat belts. Nice. That is good.
That's your thing.
That is going to look really good, Matt. Robert, I think the same thing. I think that's the only way they're really going to overcome the insurance problem, is there's going to be some sort of limiter on the ZR1. Aside from the insurance issue, the tires. How long can the tires handle going that fast? Now, the car that Mark Royce was driving, going 233.5 miles an hour, supposedly the non-ZTK version, which means it has Sport Cup 4S or Sport 4S tires, which have a speed rating of 186 plus, but it doesn't say anything about a specific speed other than 186 plus, and it doesn't say for how long. I would be pretty scared going that fast in a car that I'm not 100% sure the tires will handle it. So it wouldn't surprise me if they put a limiter on there for a couple of reasons. So Professor, one of the things that came up was somebody had sent me an article about this where one of the GM guys said that the car was in a special top speed mode. Now, I could see that also being the case. The car is limited to, we'll say, 200 miles an hour, unless you enter into this specific top speed mode that the ZR1 might have. Now, I don't know if this is going to be selectable for everybody who buys one of those, or if this is something that GM had engineered in there just for this top speed run for themselves. But assuming that is an option, I could see the normal modes being limited at like 200 miles an hour, and it doesn't unlock that full top speed unless you hit that button that says top speed mode, and then you have to hit OK to a bunch of disclaimers saying, you know, you might die, but go ahead. So I bet that would be a way around some of this.
What's the top speed on the ZR1 C7?
212.
212.
Glass City Car Nerd says, seeing those red headlights in the opposite lane really catches your attention, Justin. So,
Whoops.
yeah, he actually saw me today. I was driving the Z06, and he saw me out in the wild, we'll say. They really are an eye catcher, and in a good way and a bad way. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, C8 Z06 exceeds tire specs. It does. And the difference, though, is that it only does it by 9 miles an hour. And the Z06 doesn't really, again, even at 9 miles an hour, there is no time frame for that. So if you're deciding to go 195 for 15 to 20 minutes straight, which if you have enough room, you could do that. That may be too much for the tires too. If that is, 233 definitely is. Great White North Corvette says he's done some research and the good tires are good for that speed and more. Okay. I'm going to have to do some more research on this because I have not actually looked too much into it other than the 186 plus. I want to see if they rate it for a specific top speed and for how long. Yeah, the Bugatti speed key, exactly. Michelin, they are really good tires. The Sport 4S is one of the best all-around tires I've ever had on a car. The Z06 does run PS4. Yeah. They're not the best rubber out there, no, but they're up there. They're pretty good. Do you think the C7 looks better than the C8 or the other way around? I think that is a really hard question for me to answer specifically because I have a C7 ZR1 and a C8 Z06. Out of those two cars, it is really hard for me to choose one that I like the most. They are both just such good-looking cars. It's incredible. It is definitely possible that the ZR1 has a speed key or some sort of special mode at least. Yeah, Wheeler says, did anyone else hear the slightly altered tire compound for the Z01 and Z06? It is coming. GM talked about a slightly, and when I say slightly, I mean really little. Like GM emphasized the fact that this is by no means an all-new tire. If I had to guess, they're both going to be slightly stickier. Maybe they rate them for a higher top speed. Both of them. That's possible too. If I could afford both, I'd have a C7 and my C8. 100%. Those cars are so different that it is really easy as far as like, which one should I drive today mentality to own both, because they're so different that if you choose you want to drive the C7 one day and you're really liking it, you could drive the C8 the next day and like it for a completely different set of reasons.
It helps that you got them 4 years in between each other too.
Okay, so let's see, where we at? We got 170 people watching, 118 thumbs ups. Guys, let's please smash the thumbs up. We're going to talk a little bit of ZR1 information here. We already discussed the fact that if you haven't been living under a rock, you already know this, 233 mile an hour top speed. But where things get interesting is right here. So Road and Track published this article. It says GM did not think that the C8 Corvette ZR1 could reach 233 miles an hour. They actually said, quote unquote, we actually didn't think 233 was in the cards. Now, if you guys don't know this yet, this article basically starts talking about the fact that GM made the LT7 on the ZR1 engine, or the ZR1 engine, and at first ran it and were getting some really nice power numbers before they realized that the wastegates were open. So basically, if you guys remember the original leaked document, the C8 ZR1 was originally supposed to be only 850 horsepower. they ended up crushing that and hitting 1,064 by accident. So they basically over-engineered this engine and had it hit an absolute ridiculous horsepower number. And because of that, the car was actually faster than what they were speculating. Because at 850 horsepower, this top speed number would have probably been roughly 205 to 215 miles an hour. So when it hit 233, it was because of that extra power that they did not expect. So even GM was surprised by this number. So if you think you're surprised by it, even the guys building the car were surprised by it. Robert Brunn says, my C7 ZR1 is a beast. It's my daily driver. That's incredible. You must live somewhere nice if you can daily drive that car.
What color is it?
Yeah, Robert, what color is your ZR1? Bill Miller says, special speed mode for the ZR1. It's all a computer setting. They will have a computer jailbreak by the time the C9 comes out, so not a worry, yeah. Yeah, Mr. T says 24 pounds of boost is a lot. Yeah, it is. It's possible that the ZR1 made even more than a 1,064 crank. Well, there was an article that I read about a month ago that actually said that GM was going to possibly recertify the LT7 because they actually were able, that it was looking like the engine was going to make more than 1,064. They were quoting like somewhere around, not a crazy amount more, but somewhere around like 1,075 or something, because it hadn't been fully basically hasn't been fully dialed in yet. So it is possible that the engine produces a tad more horsepower than what they're even saying here now. So outside of that, let's see. GM didn't realize that the car was going to hit 233. It was kind of a surprise to them, they say. Let's see. Obviously, we already know this, but the C8 ZR1's top speed is 21 miles an hour faster than the C7 ZR1. Now, this is pretty incredible for people like me and apparently Rob over here in the comments section too, Robert, because his is yellow. We both have C7 ZR1s, and those cars are incredibly fast. Incredibly fast.
What state do you live in, Robert?
But they're so fast that the C8 ZR1 is 21 miles an hour faster, which is pretty crazy.
Watch him be down in Hollywood, Florida.
Break-in usually picks up a few horsepower after miles. Between break-in and literally dialing in the engine, it really seems like a lot of this stuff had to be put on the back burner until the car was out of camo. And the car only recently came out of camo. So there's still a lot of stuff that hasn't been fully tested out on this car yet. Mark Surge says, do you prefer the looks of the C8 Z06 or C8 ZR1 more, Justin? Let's say you get the split window in the color or carbon fiber of your choice. Honestly, the cars look so similar. I wouldn't really be able to say either one necessarily, but I'll tell you this. I really like the hood on the ZR1. So if something happens that I don't get the ZR1, I will be getting a hood that looks just like that for my Z06 because I really like the design. I think it just gives it that extra cool factor.
Robert Brunn is in San Diego, California.
That makes sense. I would daily drive both these cars if I could.
They always have nice weather, it seems.
Yeah. ZR1 will have a parachute kit for the drag strip. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Another thing, and we mentioned this once before, so with the horsepower being an issue for insurance purposes, another thing is this car running a drag strip time of under 10 seconds. Every drag strip I've ever been to that says if you run a car that's under 10 seconds, you need a roll cage inside. How are they going to get around that? Because I mean, it's a factory car that you haven't done anything to, and it's going to run a quarter mile in less than 10 seconds. These guys are going to get mad. You're going to get one run before you get kicked out because you're not going to have a roll cage. It's a lot of this stuff. A lot of new rules are going to be getting written here soon because this is really one of the first, we'll put affordable in quotes, cars that could potentially be over 1,000 horsepower right out of the gate. So it's going to be pretty crazy.
I always think of cars as the ones that have roll cages inside, that they're mainly trailer to the actual drag strip.
Well, that's
right?
because to drive a car with a roll cage is usually not super comfortable. You got to slide into it, and then you got everything around you. Usually they get trailered, but I mean, there's some crazy people out there that.
But then if it has a roll cage in it driving down the street, do you have to wear a helmet also?
Not on the street.
Not on the street. That'd be just weird. I don't know.
Matt Hurley says the non-ZTK ZR1 is growing on him. You really can't get a bad spec on the Z06, the E-Ray, or the upcoming ZR1. I mean, they look great regardless of what you do with them. Such a great problem to have. Sorry, I'll add a cage. Yeah. I mean, I would hate to be that guy cutting up and adding a cage into a potentially $200,000+ car, but I guess if the drag strip's your thing, you're going to have to do it. Wheeler O'Hara says, by the way, finally got to hear a cold start of a Z06 in person at the dealership. No comparison to all the videos I've listened to, and that was just factory, not an AWE. Seriously, has to be appreciated in person. You're 100% right. I mean, the Z06 sounds every bit of a supercar. I've heard them start, I think I've told you this story once before, but a couple months ago at Supercar Saturday, I had a Z06 at my booth. We had started it, moved it into place, and then I turned around to start filming something. And I swear I heard that car start again. So I turned around to ask, why are you starting it again? We already had it in place, to find that it was a Lamborghini Aventador, not an SVJ, not even an SV, just a Lamborghini Aventador. But it sounded identical. So a V12 starting up sounded exactly like the flat plane crank V8 that's in, or flat plane crank 8-cylinder engine that's in the Z06. It's incredible to have a car sound like that with 4 less cylinders. Like, it's just crazy. Exactly. General Lee, he says, wow, this car is a beast and it has ventilation in the seats. This was my big thing with the C8 Corvettes in general, really, but the C8 Corvette specifically started to do this. You can have your cake and eat it too with this car. You can have an unbelievably fast car, does 233 mile an hour top speeds, and you still have your ventilated seats. You still have your heated steering wheel. You still have a really good infotainment system and a nice sound system. Most high-end supercars, you don't get that stuff. You get a fast car, a nice looking car, a well-handling car. It's most likely not going to have air-conditioned seats. It's most likely not going to have a really good infotainment system because they cut that stuff out. So the Corvette really gives you everything. It's a fantastic feeling. All right, guys, we got 200 people in here watching, 134 thumbs up. So let's make those numbers match. Smash the thumbs up if you are just tuning in here, guys. We have a really, really awesome giveaway going today. If you guys are interested in getting in on this, every $10 is a donation, and it will get you entered to win carbon fiber door sills. These are real carbon fiber. These are not hydro dipped or anything. Real carbon fiber. They retail for $200+. You could potentially win it for $10. If you want to do a $10 donation, that's one entry. If you do 50 plus, you'll get double entries. So $50 will get you 10 entries instead of the normal 5. Get in on that giveaway if you can, guys. We are going to draw that tonight. I haven't seen anybody else enter. So as of right now, I think we have 5 people entered. 5. Your odds at this point are really good, guys.
I think we have 6 entered.
We might have 6. Either way.
Today and 2 last week.
Yeah, we do have 6 then. So either way, your odds are really good of winning this here, guys. So if you want to win a cool item for potentially only $10, get entered. We are giving it away tonight. We got 200 people watching, 140 thumbs up. Keep smashing the thumbs ups, guys. Watch that giveaway. And, of course, check out the potential to win a ZR1 in the comment section, or not comment, description down below. Yeah. Wheel weight does affect acceleration. It sure does.
Do we have any news today?
Mike says, what are you willing to pay for the new ZR1? Are we willing to pay premium over MSRP? No. My max will be, I need that car fully loaded at 230 or less, or I'm going to pass. Paul says, wow, I love my C8. Yeah, they're fantastic cars. Absolutely fantastic. There's nothing not to like about the C8 Corvette. Doesn't matter which one you get. Thumbs up, guys. Let's do it. Let's smash the thumbs up. All right, so what else do we have here? We have some cars. If you haven't seen this yet, over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum. GM Masters of Disguises are at it again. So we have some C8 Corvette Zora cars testing out in, I believe it was Colorado. Yeah, out in Colorado. So as you can see here, there's a picture very clearly. The ZR1 is in the front, the white ZR1, and then behind it looks like a camo-wrapped Z06. Looks like a Z07 wing. But upon further or closer inspection, you can see the picture on the left up here at the top. That has the battery pack cooler on it. So that is your Zora. They are, of course, disguising these cars in a way that makes it look like it's a Z06. But, of course, they have the camo covering the back window, so you can't see what engine's in it. You can't really get a lot of information from it outside of the fact that it definitely has that battery cooler up front. So it's definitely hiding a hybrid setup.
So could this still be a check your box type of option on a ZR1?
Absolutely. What they're testing here is potentially a Zora with a Z07 wing to try to throw people off the scent that what they're really testing there is a ZR1 with a Zora checkbox, or however it is they're going to do it. That's just
what do you think that checkbox is going to cost if they do it, just like an additional add-on?
We talked about this last week, but if they do it and it's just the front hybrid motor and that's it, there's no other changes.
I'm going to say 60 to 75,000 more.
Oh no, I'm thinking 10.
Oh, 10?
If it's just the motor in the front.
That just sounds like a lot.
But I also don't think that would be it. I think there's going to be plenty of other changes between the ZR1 and the Zora to justify a higher top or a higher price.
Yeah.
It is likely to have the hybrid front motor as well as other aero differences. Now, this is actually where something interesting comes in, because I just got an email from a subscriber who has a friend who's in the know at GM, and I'm going to have to switch over here because I can't show you who it is, but I'm going to read you his email because it's pretty interesting. So he emails me and says, "Hey, Justin, I'm a subscriber of your channel. I just heard some interesting Corvette news I thought I'd pass along. I have a friend who used to work for Delphi. He gets multiple test vehicles to drive and test throughout the year, mostly Corvettes. Anyway, he was here visiting a common friend of ours, and he told me that he was driving a 2026 camo test car. He said he saw, this is where things get interesting, because he said he saw ZR2 on the dash. I'm thinking he meant ZR1. When the graphics rolled up on the screen, and the dash was one big LCD or LED screen. So I've said this before in the past that I thought that the interior change for the car was going to bring the screen that's very similar to the screen she has in her Cadillac Lyriq to the Corvette. That was going to be the majority of the update to the interior, was going to be one solid screen for the speedometer that spans into the infotainment system screen as well. So this person driving the 2026 confirmed that the screen was going to be one massive screen. He goes on to say that the car was also a manual transmission car. Now, again, there's a lot of naysayers out there for this, but GM did file a clutch-by-wire patent early on in 2020 for the possibility of having a manual transmission in a C8 Corvette. So you can't rule these out. It is possible we are going to get a manual transmission in this thing.
Would you definitely get it?
It would be hard to say no, so we'd have to see exactly what it would be. But he says a manual transmission, and that it also had active aero. He said that the rear spoiler tucks into the top rear end when the gas is on and pops up when you let off the gas. Also, and this is where things get interesting because I've heard no one talk about this. He said that the tops of the front fenders were vented. Now, if you guys don't know what that looks like, the GT, the C8 Corvette GT car has vented fenders. This is a really a race car option to have vented fenders to let all of the build-up pressure out. So, again, it doesn't push the front end up at top speeds. This is something that is apparently coming for a 2026 model. Let's see. And that's pretty much all he said. Then he sent me another email and said that there was another thing that they had apparently were working on, and that was a new Impala that was going to have retro 66 to 67 styling, but obviously with a modern LT Corvette inspired drivetrain. He said that there were already 6 prototypes of this car in the building. A lot of this stuff sounds legit to me, and I think it could potentially be true. So this is where things get kind of interesting, because we've heard now from a bunch of different people, actually since I think it was rumored originally for 2024 that the interior was going to change. Didn't happen in 24. Then it was like, oh, everybody said it's going to be 25. Didn't happen in 25. Now we're hearing 26. And from the very beginning, I always said that the interior doesn't really need updated, but what does is potentially the infotainment system. That would get accomplished by using the same system out of like the Escalades and the Lyrics in the Corvette. Now, not only does that fix the updated issue, but it also gets all the GM cars on the same playing field. They all have that same kind of system. It's a lot easier to maintain that way. What do you guys think? Is it possible? This is an email from a subscriber, so I can't say anything has been confirmed by any means, but it is definitely interesting to hear some of this speculation, because it could be legit. Could absolutely be legit. We'll find out soon.
I don't know. I think if they want the Zora to be more of a elite, kind of like the 2019 ZR1, I'm thinking that the add-ons are going to be a lot more than just 10 grand or 20 grand.
I don't.
Because they don't want to. I don't know. It just seems like
I don't think that the add-on for the Zora package would ever be just the hybrid motor. I was just saying, if that's all they decided to do with it, I can't really see it being more than 10 grand. But I know to make the Zora car what they would want it to be, to really honor Zora, it's going to be just, there's going to be a lot of changes.
I just think that it would be more costly just because of not as many being made.
Yeah. Randall Swanson joins the loyal HPO group here.
Welcome.
Thank you, Randall. I appreciate the support. These are great rumors. And that's the thing, guys. Like, what we're here to do is talk Corvettes. Some of it's speculation, some of it's rumors, some of it's completely off the wall stuff. But you watch. I bet you, I'll put money on the fact that something out of that email, something, ends up coming true. That's why I love the speculation here, is because, yeah, a lot of the stuff we speculate about ends up not happening, but a lot of the stuff that we speculate does end up happening. So we might as well be on right on the edge of the knowledge for it, and that's what we're all about here. Wheeler says, remember Taj said the ZR1 was the flagship and it couldn't be topped. So the way he worded it was that the ZR1 was actually going to be the most expensive performance variant in the C8 lineup. And it still could be if they make the Zora option a checkbox. So now you would have a ZR1 Zora. That maintains the ZR1 as the most expensive, but also adds the Zora stuff to it. That's pretty much the only way they could be doing it. All right, guys, we got 184 people watching, 150 thumbs up, so we are 34 off. If you guys could please smash the thumbs up button. We're getting really close to the giveaway. Doesn't look like
more Venmos?
It doesn't look like anybody else has entered. So once again, for those of you, if you're just joining in now and you want to see the what the giveaway is tonight, it is carbon fiber door sills. So these retail for a little over $200. You can win them tonight for a potential of $10. So every $10 donation is an entry. $50 or more is double entries. So for $50, you'll actually get 10 entries. Definitely check it out if you'd like to win some carbon fiber parts for much less than what they're worth. Professor Corvette says, still really wouldn't worry too much about the things that Taj said. He was on his way out. Not only that, we have to, and I think Bill and I were having this conversation at Cars and Coffee the other day. There is just a good chance that Taj just lied. I mean, he doesn't have to tell you the truth when he's saying this stuff. So as much as I don't think he lied, it is a possibility that he just said, yeah, this is the most expensive, because he just wanted you to believe that. He didn't want you to think that there's another car coming in 6 months or a year or whatever it might be. So let's keep that as a real possibility too. You know, we don't know. Mr. T says Zora will be the swan song of the internal combustion engine 8-cylinder Corvettes, folks. GM facing major new regulations for emissions. I hope that that's not the case. And I know they were talking about redesigning a big block for, or a small block for possibly for the C9. I think at least the C9 Stingray equivalent will probably still be an internal combustion engine, but I think the performance variants like Z06, ZR1, C9s are probably going to start pushing into electric. Let's see what else we got here.
That's a cool picture.
Oh, the constraints. So if any of you guys out there are looking to get a 2015 or 2025 Corvette, there's good news. Good news on constraints for October 17th, which will be your next round of allocations. Sebring Orange, Competition Yellow, and Asteria Purple are now available for new 2025 orders going in today. No constraints even on the black Stingray wheels, nor even on the Z06 visible carbon fiber. So you guys can actually get your Z07 packages for once. One large dealership who had a combined of 40 plus orders go in today had every single customer get every single option they wanted. How about that? Not too often that happens. So if you guys were interested in the new colors, you could be getting them right now. Go get your 2025s right now if that's what you want to do, because you're not going to get it otherwise, it seems. Okay, C8 Nate pays $10, so he gets an entry. C8 Nate, $10. So, guys, we are coming down to the wire here. If you are wanting to get in on this giveaway, you're going to want to do it ASAP.
Got about, what, 3 minutes left?
Yeah, we got about, I'll give you 5 more minutes to get in. So we'll do 8:35. We're gonna do the cutoff here. So if you want to get in on the giveaway, you got 5 more minutes. And again, if you haven't seen it yet, this is the giveaway. It's carbon fiber door sills, real carbon fiber, not hydro dipped. These are 200 plus usually. You can get them here for a donation of $10 or $50 plus. We'll give you double entries for it. So make sure you get in on these guys. These will be given away in 5 minutes. We will determine the winner. Let's see. Red C806 says, I saw the new yellow and purple at McMulkin this week. Nice. Zora's more than a year away for an announcement. I agree. Taj said his last car, ZR1, the Zora ZR2 car manual. They really can't call this car the ZR2. That's kind of a truck designation. So I know that email stated ZR2, but I'm going to have to assume that was a typo. Congratulations, Professor Corvette. That's awesome. We have a Professor Corvette and a Dr. Corvette.
Yeah.
We got almost all fields covered here. Yeah, I agree. NBA says Roma is a track guy, so I can definitely see Active Aero coming. I think the Zora pretty much has to do something with Active Aero, because you can't just have the only difference between the ZR1 and the Zora be the hybrid motor. There's got to be more than that. You could potentially do just the hybrid motor and some Active Aero ingredients, but it's got to be something more than just the hybrid. Wheeler O'Haro, thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. We'll see ya. So, guys, at this point, we're pretty much done with the news. Please smash the thumbs up button if you haven't yet. We have pretty much matching numbers here, which is really good. I'm going to post in the chat here again the membership link. If you guys are interested in joining as a member on the channel, click that link. You can join for whatever amount that you would like, and that will give you access to the upcoming behind-the-scenes video that I'm going to be posting probably tomorrow at this point. So I definitely appreciate any of you guys joining. It helps the channel, as well as gives you some cool emojis and a little bit of extra stuff that other people aren't getting. Wheeler O'Hara says, should change my name to Engineer Corvette. Yeah, there you go. Or Dr. 948, yeah. Engineer Corvette, I like it. With what you did to that Porsche, that should be it.
I like Dr. 948 too.
Maybe the Zora will have a wing that disappears into the rear and raises at top speed. The email that I just got really definitely proposes that as a possibility. It seems like that might be where this is going. A wing that totally actually fits down into the rear bumper and comes up at speed, or braking specifically. Matt Hurley is now part of the loyal HPO team.
Welcome.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that.
You wanted your 12. I think you might have got 15.
I don't think we're at 15. But
No. I mean, people that are subscribers now.
Yeah, I don't think we're at 15.
No?
No. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. Dylan says, man, can't believe the GM hit 230. Well, they hit 233.5 in the new C8 Zora1. That's killing even the McLaren. Yep. And that was the thing I really wanted to talk about tonight, was just how crazy it is that the car hits that top speed when the other cars out there that are hitting even close to that are significantly more expensive. So the only car that really comes off the top of my head that can really destroy that top speed is a Bugatti, I think Chiron. I think it was the Chiron. Let me just make sure of that. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, the Chiron's 304 miles per hour. McLaren Speedtail is 250. Hennessy Venom 311. Koenigsegg is 242. So Koenigsegg CCR will get you a top speed of 242 miles an hour. That car is going to be significantly more expensive than any price that this C8 ZR1 comes out with.
Bugatti Veyron 267.
Yeah, these are all really,
crazy.
really expensive cars. The C8 ZR1 pricing obviously hasn't come out yet, but there's no way that the C8 ZR1 is going to be priced like a Bugatti Chiron. It's just not going to be the case. That's a great idea. Professor Corvette says we need a 233 icon. Yes, we do. That once we get enough subscribers to the memberships that I can create some more custom emojis, that will be one of the next ones I do. Mike, take it easy, man. I'm glad that you found a place to rest on Monday nights. We'll be here every Monday night at 7:30 p.m.
Good night, Mike.
Bruno says, finally getting my Z06 in 3 weeks, just in time for the New Jersey winter. Yeah, that seems to be the way it goes, but at least you're getting it. You're going to love it.
New Jersey kind of gets hit harder than PA does because it comes up there from the Vermont or whatever.
Yep.
They get hit a little bit harder than I do.
Look at that Mountain Dew emoji. All right. We are at 8:35. We did not get any additional entries, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up a winner here. So bear with me while I add some names in. All right. We are ready for the giveaway. Thanks, Jason. Good evening, everyone. Thanks again, Justin and Amber. Have a great week. Well, we're not checking out just yet, Seawolf.
We're about to do a winner here.
We're about to do a winner. So here we go. We're going to go over to the browser. We got everybody entered in. Here we go.
Matt Hurley. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's going to take its time spinning to that one, but Matt Hurley it is.
He is the winner.
So for his new E-Ray coming up, he wins. Matt, are you still in here? He also joins the memberships and wins.
That's awesome.
Ron, you are going to have plenty of chances to win carbon fiber. We have a bunch of stuff coming up, so stay tuned. Yes, all those cars we were talking about are 1 million plus. And that's the thing is, even if the ZR1 comes out and it's 250 grand, it's still a quarter of some of those other cars. Matt, you're the winner. Congrats, Matt. I think I have your stuff, but if not, just shoot me a text, Matt, with your address in it, and we will we'll get these out to you. So that's it, though, guys. Next Monday night we'll have another giveaway, and then starting in November we're gonna bring on some really cool sponsors. You guys are gonna want to see this stuff coming. We have some really crazy, awesome giveaways lined up for the next couple months. So definitely make sure you guys tune in every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Congratulations to Matt Hurley, and we will catch you guys same time, same place next Monday night. Take it easy.
Good night.